A ruptured gas line causes a blaze which has put a Milton neighborhood on edge. A massive grow-up bust on a rural farm takes millions of dollars of marijuana off the streets. And more from McGuinty. The Premier defends his government's handling of the Caledonia land claim as new questions are raised over it. A massive gas fire has left a Milton neighborhood powerless this hour. Good evening and thanks for joining us. For the last 3 hours, Chch News has been bringing you live coverage of the scene from this blaze outside a suburban home. Huge and consistent orange flames burned in front of this house after a gas line was ruptured. We have continuing team coverage tonight, starting with Christina Tenalia, who's been live in Milton for most of this afternoon. So what's the latest, Christina?
Well, Nick, I can tell you the fire is out now, but those flames were relentless for the majority of the afternoon. And what happened was, for a long time, Union Gas was trying to shut off a gas valve. They've finally been able to do that now, and what Union Gas is telling us is that up to 1,200 customers could be impacted. They could have no heat, no gas, no hot water until tomorrow morning. And Nick, this all began at around 2 o'clock this afternoon when there was an explosion at this home here on Bennett Boulevard. The woman who lives at the home, she was inside at the time of the explosion, but she was able to escape safely. Now, one Union Gas employee was injured in the explosion. Union Gas officials tell us that he is okay. He only suffered minor injuries. As for the family, it's a husband, a wife, and 2 young children. The homeowner is just glad that everyone is safe. There's a school here, Nick. It's Hawthorne Village Public School. The school was in a hold and secure position for the majority of the afternoon as those flames just ravaged through the home. The home is completely totaled. Now, Nick, earlier we caught up with the homeowner. He is just relieved that his family's okay.
There was Union Gas working at front of our house, and they have somehow they screwed up. There were 3 explosions, and suddenly my wife, she smelled some tires burning, so she looked outside. There was fire. She called 911. Fire department asked her to leave the house immediately. She's at my neighbor's right now. She's safe and sound. My children, they go to school, 5 years old and 8 years old. I'm here to pick them up.
Let's see what happens. Very good spirits. I mean, considering what's happened to your home.
Yeah, thankfully my family is safe. That's the most important thing. We'll build another house. It's not a problem.
What was Union Gas doing at your home today? Why were they working?
They have been actually working there for a week. Today they did something and it went wrong, unfortunately.
Okay, has Union Gas gotten in touch with you? Has anyone gotten in touch with you?
No one got in touch. I just ended up calling my insurance company, and they're going to send someone to survey. And besides that, no one got in touch with me. I have all my valuables, my clothes, everything else. Hopefully it's not going to burn down everything.
Yeah. And your children are safe? They were here at school?
They were here at school. They are safe. School has done a good job keeping the kids inside. So I'm very thankful to them.
Okay. And Nick, that was homeowner Abid Khan, just happy that his family's okay in what's been an incredible afternoon here in this subdivision. I mean, the home completely ravaged, the flames are gone, but now the issue, where does this family stay? How about up to 1,200 customers that could be impacted by not having any heat, any hot water, or any gas? Now, joining me now is Azima with the Red Cross. Now, you are here to offer some support, some services to the families that have been impacted. Any idea how many families have been impacted at this time?
At this point, we're not really sure. The situation is still being assessed, and so until we don't know further, we won't have any idea. At this point, we're only aware of 2 homes that were directly impacted by the situation, of which we'll be working with the family to provide them with their immediate and basic needs.
Okay, thanks very much, Azima. And Nick, what we understand as well is that the town of Milton has become involved in trying to help any residents who have been impacted. I understand that Mayor Gordon Krantz is now meeting with his engineering department to try to figure out logistically how they can help some residents that may be displaced. He is expected to be making his way to the scene here sometime soon, so hopefully we can catch up with him. Union Gas also says, Nick, that if people are put out of their homes because they don't have heat and they don't have anywhere to stay, to get in touch with them and they will help out customers. They will reimburse customers for accommodations. Nick.
All right, thanks a lot. That's Christina Tenalia live tonight in Milton. And as she just mentioned, as many as 1,200 homes will be without heat and hot water tonight. And that means many people in the neighborhood will be looking for somewhere else to stay. Al Sweeney is live at the scene now with more from neighbors in that Milton neighborhood. Hi there, Al.
Well, hi there, Nick. Well, as you can imagine, people in this neighborhood are pretty upset about what happened here. They say, the people who are home at the time say they could actually feel the ground shake. They could feel their houses shake when this explosion and fire happened. They're very concerned about the well-being of this family. They do say they're going to be coming together to try to help these people. Now, we talked to some of the neighbors. Here's what they had to tell us.
Oh, yeah, it's shocking. Especially, I never thought something like this would happen in my neighborhood, but I guess you never know what could happen.
So I was at home and I heard this really big bang, and then my house rumbled, and I went upstairs to see if the kids were okay. They were okay. They were sleeping. It's funny, because when you hear a big rumble, you would think that, the kids would wake up from it, but they were sleeping, and I ran around my house to make sure everything was okay, everything was fine. I looked outside in my backyard, and all you could see is all this big cloud of black smoke everywhere. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it does scare me a little bit because, something like this doesn't happen all the time. It's not every single day that a house like this catches on fire like that.
What did you hear?
So I heard a loud explosion or something that sounded like an explosion. And then we heard it a second time and then a third time. And so, ironically, my wife just looked out the window and saw this plume of smoke.
I didn't really hear, but after break, nobody dismissed us. So my whole class was worrying, and we were all gonna go out into the hall and get our stuff for class. But then the teacher, Miss Kilpatrick, came and she told us to just stay in our seats.
Now, what you're looking at behind me now is sort of the aftermath of this, what's happening right now. The fire is out. The fire department is just just putting out the hot spots, making sure that there are no further problems. Now, that last interview you heard there was from a little girl who was in the school, which is just half a block away from where the explosion happened. And one of the witnesses was telling us something very interesting. When the gas pipeline went up in flames, it was on the sidewalk in front of the house. It wasn't in the house at all. And he says people were standing here watching the flames coming out of the sidewalk, and the wind actually blowing the flames over toward the house, and the house sort of catching fire bit by bit until eventually the house was destroyed. Very upsetting for people in this neighborhood. Nick?